Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Taryn. We are meal prepping today. We had mono and we've been sick for a long time. I didn't even know you can get mono in your 30s. And we have not been well and we've been eating junk. So it's time to get back on track. So we're gonna do some meal prepping. I'm gonna get my cat off the counter, don't worry. I'm gonna wash these sweet potatoes, cut them right down the middle and put them in the oven at 400 for about an hour. Sweet potatoes are very hard to cut. I feel like I can lift very heavy weight, but when it comes time to cut a sweet potato, I just can't do it. But my husband did just sharpen my knives. So my plan for this is that I'm gonna cut these straight down the middle, as so. I'm going to roast them in the oven with like some olive oil, salt, pepper. And what we're going to do is I am going to weigh these out for myself, but I'm going to make stuffed sweet potatoes with ground beef. And I'm gonna top it, Jesus Christ, with baby bell cheese. And I'm gonna go ahead and have those like all weighed out and portioned out in little meal prep containers in my refrigerator so that they're just ready to go. Because my issue is I've been getting overly hungry and then just like not eating, which isn't going to help me build muscle. So that's what I'm doing. I have lots of very big plans today. I wanna make some buns, which I need to get going on next if I'm going to be able to make those. Muffins, what else? Potatoes. Oh, I need to get a pork tenderloin in the crock pot. I want to prep dinner for tonight. Just a lot of things. This is the biggest sweet potato. I'm strong, I swear. My husband got me this olive oil dispenser for Christmas, maybe it was. And it's like Louisiana themed. I forget what's on there. I think crawfish or something, right?
The fleur-de-lis.
Fleur-de-lis. So I'm just drizzling some olive oil on these, and then I'll add salt and pepper and stick them in the oven for about an hour.
You did forget to mention that that thing was handmade in Italy.
Yeah. Uh-oh, somebody's gonna get it. Did someone move the salt?
That's the garlic.
Uh-huh. Just in case you think it's all beer and Skittles around here. My beautiful assistant over there doesn't want to be on camera, so she just made noise in the background. I love this Redmondville salt. Baja Gold is good too, and I just keep it in a pint-sized mason jar on the back of my stove. So, well, I try to when people don't move it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
It was there the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. You know, I'm gonna skip the pepper, I think, in case anybody wants to have these savory. Sweet.
At what point are you gonna add the marshmallows?
Yeah, so about that.
No marshmallows on these sweet potatoes?
Sorry, we're skinny queens.
Could really go for those beer and Skittles right now.
All right, next I'm gonna clean up a little bit and look up a recipe for buns because I wanna make a bunch of buns.
94 grams.
So I'm going to be making buns using freshly ground flour, and I'm gonna make a bunch of them and they're gonna be pretty big. So this is a big batch. If you want like the exact recipes for what I'm doing, I would recommend going to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, The Homemaker, because I usually post all of my recipes there.
380.
This is going to be a huge batch. So I am weighing my wheat berries, and then I'm going to grind them because I don't want to have like a bunch of flour ground that I'm not going to use because the flour does not really keep. So that's my plan.
You're gonna need a bigger bowl.
I know.
905.
Let's see. I need 1,200.
1,008 grams.
No.
1,104 grams.
A little bit more. Yeah, I said that last time. That's a lot of wheat.
1,187 grams.
We're gonna get there.
Eventually.
1,195.
Look, that's good enough for me.
Just throw 2 more berries in there, it'll be fine.
All right, so I'm going to grind this. And the thing when you have a wheat grinder is you have to make sure to start the grinding before you add any wheat in there because it can actually clog your machine. And if y'all want a whole video on why I grind my own flour, I could definitely do that. I just haven't because I figured y'all wouldn't care. Trying to find my measuring cup for this. All right, let's go. So this made so much flour, I don't even know that I'm gonna be able to use my mixer to make these buns. I may have to mix it all in this bowl. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out together. I'm gonna move my wheat grinder. Oh my God, she's heavy.
I'm just a girl.
I am just a girl. Still tell my coach that this is heavy. All right. Now we are gonna do 120 grams of warm water and 720 grams of milk. So I'm gonna get that. I'll bring it back when it's done. All right, in here I have 120 grams of water, 720 grams of whole milk, butter, sugar, and instant dry yeast. So I'm going to just like combine this, let it sit for a minute, and let it all come together. And I am going to have to mix this by hand. This is not going to fit in my mixer, which is fine. But after this yeast activates, I'm going to also add 2 eggs. When you're using fresh ground flour, the eggs really help with the texture to be more like a regular like sandwich bread. So, and I'm going to add some salt as well. Then we are going to let it all come together. The thing with fresh ground flour is it takes a little bit to rehydrate and soak that water up. So I'm going to add everything together and kind of let it sit, and then I'll start kneading it. So I did put on an apron because this is gonna get messy, and we'll go from there. I am making pulled pork in my pink crock pot. Very beautiful. So I have a pork loin in here, and I'm just going to add some like barbecue seasoning. Whatever you want is good with me. We're gonna cook this, and this is going to go in meal prep containers with green beans and potatoes. I am gonna make boiled potatoes, and before you tease me and make fun of me, Scarlett loves boiled potatoes. So I will make this for her, and if we want them crispy, I could just crisp them up in a pan, and we can use them like as hash browns or whatever. So it'll be the pulled pork, potatoes, and green beans. And I will, again, weigh everything out so it matches my macros perfectly. And I just season until my ancestors tell me that's good. And I feel like a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. Just so pink and beautiful. All right, let me wash my hands. And we'll get on to mixing the bread. And I wash my hands a lot, so if you don't see me washing them, like I am washing them, I promise. I take my ring off. All right, let's go. So I've got my yeast and the milk and all this and the salt. So I'm gonna start adding the flour. And you can always add more, but you can't take away. And I'm going to bring this into a dough. I'll bring it back when we get there. So while I'm waiting for the bun dough to come together, I'm chopping these potatoes up for the boiled potatoes. I'm doing about 5 pounds of baking potatoes. And I am just slicing these up into pieces and putting them in a pot. I have my caraway pot in terracotta. It's beautiful. And what I'm going to do is add water to this and then bring it up to a boil. So you do not want to add your potatoes to boiling water because that's what makes them like lumpy and makes them not cook well in the middle. So you want to put your potatoes into cold water onto the stove if you are boiling them. So we can, again, I have one child who likes to just eat them like this, and we could also fry them up in the morning if we want to. We could stick them in the air fryer, eat them just like that, and then I'm also going to use them in those pulled pork bowls. So I'm just going to make my way through these potatoes. I took them and I put them in a colander and rinse them. So I have the colander just sitting on like a dish drying mat as I make my way through this. I want to show y'all how I start my stove. I have a gas range and I've gotten a lot of questions about that. And the key for me is I just listen. So I'm gonna click the stove on and it's gonna tick, 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 and then I'll hear woof, and that is the flame starting. I cannot see this at all. I'm not using any like residual vision or anything like that. So that's what I'm doing. And there. I don't know if y'all caught it, but it makes a woof sound, and that's how I know that the flame is lit. And then you could just feel the heat also coming from near the pan. Don't put your hand too close, but you can feel the heat. And that's how I do it, just that simple. This flour has been rehydrating, and I did not add all the flour to it because again, like you can always add but not take back. So I'm going to add some more of the flour that we had ground up until I get it to a good consistency, and then we will knead it for a little bit. Now I know this is a big batch, but typically making bread for me is not that difficult. So I don't know, if you've been intimidated by bread making, I would just give it a try. And it's not as complicated as it seems, and it's a lot more forgiving than a lot of people may think. Smoothing everything over so I could turn this out soon onto my counter. I do like this recipe because I think this is going to be the right amount of flour. This is all the flour I have ground. So if I do need more, honestly, I'm just gonna add some all-purpose flour. I do keep all-purpose flour around, especially like for my kids baking. So if I do need more flour, I'm just gonna use that. Okay. I'm gonna have to wash my olive oil container, but I'm going to add some olive oil to my counter and turn this dough out and see what we got. Sorry, Corey. Oh gosh, there's like no olive oil left in here.
So I'm gonna have to add avocado oil now.
Can you actually grab me the avocado oil spray?
Yeah.
Actually, I can get it. My hands are just gross.
No, I got it.
It's by the stove.
Of course. Eagle.
Thank you. Oh gosh, I can't feel which way it's facing or anything because my hands are so gross. Okay. Oh dear, some dough just flew. So I'll have to toss it. It's a little bit of dough that went onto the floor. So I'm just going to knead this dough a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm scooping the sides up with the palms of my hands, folding them in, and then pushing down with the heels of my hands. And the whole reason that you need dough is because that's what activates the gluten proteins, and that's what makes your dough rise. So you want to get that nice and activated. I think we are gonna have to add a little bit of all-purpose flour. Beautiful assistant,
Mm-hmm.
can you grab the all-purpose flour and sprinkle some on here for me?
Sorry, I'm old.
Yeah, because it's pretty sticky. Which, you know, when you're using fresh ground flour, it is a little bit sticky, but this is kind of too sticky for me to really even handle well.
Squeeze me. How much?
I don't know, put some in my hand. Good. Just leave it there in case I need it, please.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little bit of the all-purpose flour. Can you actually put the lid back on that? Look, when you have blind people in your house, you gotta put lids back on stuff because the way I'll knock that over is crazy. I'll knock it over quick, fast, and in a hurry. There we go, that's nice. So I'm just gonna spend some time kneading this, then I will allow it to rise until it's about double in size. It should take about 16 to 90 minutes. Then we will shape them into buns and get them ready to go for their second rise. So what I'm doing now is the sweet potatoes are done. I roasted them. And what I'm doing is weighing them out into these meal prep containers. And I actually did not know this, but roasted sweet potato has different macros than like steamed. So I'm gonna do 200 grams of sweet potato for post-workout. Especially my leg days, I need like a good amount of carbs after. So, but this feels like a lot of sweet potato. Maybe let's do 150.
167 grams.
67.
100.
You're such a child.
161.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fill up these containers and I'm gonna do the same thing with the white potatoes.
56 grams.
Okay, so I am going to be shaping this dough into balls, but I like to weigh them out. You're really a child.
I couldn't help it,
So
sorry.
I think I'm gonna do like 130 grams.
155.
That's kind of a lot.
136 grams.
And I did eat a little bit earlier, so I wouldn't be so hungry because I was getting cranky.
130 grams.
All right, 130 grams. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of rolling that out. I'm gonna flatten it between my hands, kind of like a hamburger. Then I'm going to take the outside edges and fold them in on itself and then tuck it under. And what that's going to do when I tuck it under and I flip it back on top, it creates surface tension on the top of this roll or bun, and that's going to help it fluff up really nicely. So I'm just going to keep doing that process until I have used up all of the dough. Okay, so I finished all the buns and I'm going to cover these with a moist tea towel and let these rise. It's pretty cold in the house, so it may take a little bit.
Says you.
It is cold. So I'm gonna cover these up and then get on to the next thing. Okay, next what we are doing is my family loves these breakfast sausages from Walmart. It's a good little protein snack or to go with breakfast. So I have 4 packs of them and I have a dual-sided air fryer. So what I'm going to do is pull these out, put them in the air fryer. We're gonna air fry these. Maybe a third of them or like one of the packs I'm actually gonna leave in longer because Delaney likes hers super crispy. And I think this would be good burned. Actually, I kind of like them that way too. But I'm also going to be making egg white pancakes later. So I think this would be good on the side of egg white pancakes. So I am going to open these up, get them in the air fryer, and get those going. Air fried breakfast sausage really actually is so good. And so easy, and it contains all the mess. So I'm a big fan of that. And I'll show you what they look like when they're all done. Y'all, I have rose gold measuring cups. I love them. Also, a benefit of doing meal prep all in one day is you can use the same bowls. Like I use this for my dough. I'm just gonna reuse it. It's the same stuff in there, not a big deal. And you're just gonna messy up your kitchen one time and that's it. So now what I'm making are pumpkin muffins for Scarlett. She loves them. And I'm going to use fresh ground soft white wheat. So remember when I put, oh, the air fryer's done. So we go check on those sausages. When I put the wheat grinder away earlier, I still needed it. The difficult thing for this recipe is I need to convert it to grams. So I have to kind of estimate how much wheat to use. Oh, dang. I buy my wheat berries in bulk and this sucker is hard to open.
Do you need my assistance?
No.
But you're just a girl.
I mean, I'm just a girl. I figured it out, you guys. I figured it out. Remember, turn your grinder on first. All right, I'm gonna do my best to estimate 3 cups of flour.
Are they sealed?
Okay, flour is ground. There's a part of dough on the side of my bowl. The sausages were not done, so they're going for another 6 minutes. I've got sugar. So I'm going to add some sugar in with the flour. I also added some baking powder and baking soda. And I still need to add some salt. Always add salt to your baked goods. It helps enhance the flavor. So sugar in, do a little bit more. These are mostly for Scarlett. I made high protein banana muffins not too long ago, and I ate one of them. And I made 24, mind you. She just eats them by the handful. Which, I mean, that's why I make them. I make them to be eaten. It's not a big deal, it's fine. But maybe if I was having these, I would change the ingredients up a little bit. Like the banana ones I did, I used some Ghost cereal milk protein powder in there to increase the protein a little bit. All right. And I'm also trying something a little bit different. I had way more pumpkin than what it called for. I did a grocery delivery and they gave me one of the big, huge tins of pumpkin instead of like the smaller cans. So I'm using that and I'm going to omit the oil. This may be a mistake. Future Taryn will tell you if this was a mistake or not. But pumpkin actually can be used in place of oil. So I'm going to try that, oil or butter. I am also adding whole milk. So that will add some fat in there too. And let's just see how it goes. Also, I'm not even completely sure that all this is going to fit in my mixing bowl, but we will see. So the dough batter, this is batter, not dough. It's all done. So I am actually scooping this into muffin tins, and I've also gotten this question. I use a cookie scoop or an ice cream scoop to scoop my batter into the muffin tins, and look, there's no way to make this beautiful. So I scoop with one hand, tap the extra batter off, so I'm holding the cookie scoop in my right hand. I find the next little opening in my muffin tin with my left hand, and I use my finger to kind of guide my right hand over. And it's messy. I don't think there's any way around it. I'll go back and wipe the, I have silicone muffin tins. I'll go back and wipe them down before I stick them in the oven. But this is pretty much the best way I figured how to do muffins.
I do have to say, I've seen you do a lot of things with that cookie scoop. Never seen you make ice cream.
No.
Or,
Okay, peek behind the curtain. I actually don't really like ice cream.
or cookies.
No. It's not really my thing. So my cookie scoop is used way more, or ice cream scoop is used way more for like muffins and stuff like that.
Never ice cream, never cookies.
Meatballs,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Feel bad for me, guys.
Oh well, something tells me you're gonna be all right. So the muffins are finished. I was able to get 24 muffins and a pumpkin bread. So the bread is still in the oven. It takes a little bit longer to cook. So I'm just popping these muffins out and sticking them in a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to allow those to cool completely, and I will put them in the refrigerator. I do not add cinnamon to these pumpkin muffins because that is not what Scarlett prefers. She likes the pumpkin with the white chocolate chips, so that is what we do. I also did take the breakfast sausage out of the air fryer and let that cool and popped that in the fridge. My husband wants to try a muffin.
Otherwise, I won't be able to get one.
No, that's true. Actually, I'm gonna call Scarlett up in just a second and give her a muffin. She's going to be so happy. And I think after this, I'm going to make some oat flour because I need that for the egg white pancakes. I need to get going on that next. So do y'all remember me telling y'all that I had to make oat flour? Apparently I didn't. It's fine. It'll make the pancake texture better. But apparently I could have just put the oats in there. But I made oat flour.
0 grams.
So right now I'm just getting some bananas. I'm excited about these pancakes because they're high protein and low fat, so they'll be good to like pre-workout. They got some carbs in there, and I can top it with like honey, or if you follow me on socials, you would have seen a farmer's market haul that I did not that long ago.
110 grams.
Yeah, so we're gonna triple the pancakes. I had to measure a banana to see like how much a banana weighed. So I'm gonna do a triple batch of these pancakes. Anywho, like I was saying, if you follow me on socials, you would have seen a farmer's market haul that I did, and we got these whipped honeys. So it's like crystallized honey, and they whip them and they flavor them. So good. So we got chocolate and we got pumpkin spice. So I think that is going to be delicious. So in these, we actually make the batter in the blender. So I'm making a triple batch. So that is going to be, hey, no one's talking to you. Chill out.
0 grams.
Everything is going in the blender. So what's 75 times 3? I'm hoping my husband will tell me.
My phone is currently recording you. I don't have a calculator.
No,
And that's more than 10? I can't count that high.
Oh no. Well, my bowl can't fit a triple batch anyway.
74 grams.
74. Okay. So one batch.
Minus 300
And
grams.
we can also have sausage with this too if we want to,
28.
which I think will be delish.
50.
Let's see what
79
79, good enough. Double.
225.
minus 3
Well, I'm not even doing it like that because my bowl's not big enough.
grams.
Look, it just took me that long to do that math, okay?
Ooh. And he's going back to college, you guys.
Yeah, and I failed algebra. I couldn't even say the word.
Grams.
Oh dear. So I'm gonna finish making the batter and I will bring you back. What else is going in here? Is going to be 300 grams of egg whites per batch. Also a scoop of protein powder. Also a pinch of salt and a pinch of baking powder per batch. There we go. And I'm going to just blend the batter in my blender, and then we will come back and actually cook up the pancakes. Of all the things we're doing, this is what I'm most excited about. I am making ground beef. This is going to go in those sweet potato bowls that I've already measured out the sweet potato. So that's what I'm doing here in this pan. Y'all, I got stuff on me because I took my apron off. Also, look how many dishes. Insane.
Oh,
But-
well, you didn't even look at the dishwasher yet.
Uh-oh. This is the pork. It is finished. I did check the internal temperature of this. I like to check the internal temperature of my meat for sure, just because as blind people, we can't cut it open and make sure it looks cooked on the inside. So I did check the internal temperature. I'm letting that cool for a little bit, and then I will grab my kitchen scale and we will start measuring that out with the sweet potatoes. And I am going to grade one baby bell cheese on top of each. And I'm gonna do, I think, 5 ounces of each meat per, just to make it easy. Also, my batter for the egg white pancakes has to sit for 5 minutes to thicken. And my lovely assistant said that he would flip pancakes for me, which is good because it's gonna take a while. And I took all my throws of the bite. I just pulled these buns out of the oven. I did want to tell y'all a trick with that. Use your meat thermometer on bread, and if it's between 195 and 200 degrees, it's done. So that's what I just did. It was reading like 197 on pretty much all of them. So they're finished. I may put some butter on these, but I'm gonna let them cool. I don't want to have to track the butter later. I'm gonna let these cool, package them up, and stick them in the fridge. I'm exhausted.
So am I.
I do not have any more cooking left in me. So this is where we're gonna end it here. So we did the pulled pork bowls, the beef and sweet potato bowls. We did the pumpkin chocolate chip muffins and bread, and that was made with fresh ground flour. Made a bunch of buns with the fresh ground flour. We also did breakfast sausage and protein pancakes. It feels like we did a lot more than that. But I think my future self will thank me for that. Also, RIP to my manicure. My nails were done and the polish is all chipped off. So that is a bummer. But thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what else y'all want to see on the channel, and pray for our recovery, because doing all that after recovering from mono was not fun. And